So welcome back to this channel once again, and today I'm creating this video on subfile programming. So here I am going to have a demo on Readable subfile where I'll be showing the validation as well. So whenever we are doing updation on the file fields, so at that time we are validating the subfile fields before updating into the file. And we have add record screen also, so that once we add those records uh, to the file, that will be automatically loaded to the subfile. So here I'm gonna give you the uh, basically the demo of editable subfile with validations and adding the records, updating the records. So here I'm gonna using the concept of read C, SFL exchange, SFL engine. Now I'm gonna showing the error message on the subfile screen and the display file screen of the add record screen. Okay, I'm also going to show you one more thing, that is subfile position cursor on an error field. Means whenever you are inputting some value on the field, that will be validated. In case that value is having error, or that is the condition is not met for that value, that the value should be like this or this something, then the uh, that field will get highlighted, and the cursor will be positioned to that field. So even in case of multiple, we can update multiple records at a one time, and we can have multiple error at a one time on the subfile screen with multiple subfile fields. Okay, so it will automatically point to the first one, and then once we correct that and will update the uh, subfile screen, then it will point to the second one or the next one. So I'll be letting you know what I'm going to show you. So here I written a one simple program. I'm just calling that program, call pgm8. So here I can see that this is a subfile screen. Here we have three fields: employee number, employee name, employee status. Currently this subfile has no records. Okay, so we are here displaying the empty subfile. So if I take F3, I'll be exiting. If I calling this program again, now I can do F6 to add a record, or F7 to update a record. So here if I try F7 to update the record, so I can see that no record updated, because there is no record on the subfile screen. So here I'm not getting this session or device error actually. So I just handle that. Okay, now if I press enter, I'm on the page where I am. Okay, now if I press F6, so I'm having a add record in subfile screen. So here for example, I'm not giving any value and pressing enter. So here I can see that I have applied the validations on this screen as well. So employee number cannot be blank, for example. Sorry, for example, I entered this, it will say employee name cannot be blank. For example, it's name 1. If I press enter again, it will say employee status must be active or inactive. So if I do D like this one, it again say it must be active or inactive. Now if I enter active there and press enter, so it will say that record added successfully, and it will automatically load it to the subfile screen, or it will get back to the subfile screen. So here I can see that this field is in output capable only, and this field is input and output both. Okay, so these two fields are defined in the both mode. So here I can change the value of this screen. So first thing I'll do, I'll press F6 again. So here I have an option of F12 also, so I'll be taking F12 to come back onto this screen. Now I can change the value of this screen. For example, I'm doing something like removing a from this value. So the value must, and pressing enter won't do anything because here I have to press F7 key. Okay, so once I press F7 key, you can see that that field gets highlighted in the reverse image, and the cursor has been positioned to that field also. Okay, now for example, I'll be removing this, and the cursor is now at this point, and I'll pressing F7. So now the cursor will point to the first error field, and both the fields get reverse highlighted. So once I correct the first field and press F7 again, so the cursor will automatically point to the next field. Okay, so for example, I'm adding one more record. So now I'm giving inactive here and pressing enter. So it record added successfully. So if I would see a for example, inactive and active, so I can see that I have changed both the records. Now once I press F7, I can see multiple records updated message here. Okay, so if I'll update only one value, for example, again do it name 1 and press F7, so I can see one record updated. So if I press F7 without updating anything, I'll be getting no record update, right? So in case I'm just removing all the fields and now pressing F7, so all the fields gets highlighted because all the fields are in error right now, and the cursor is positioned to the first thing. As you can see here, this is the cursor. So if I do write something here, because employee name cannot be blank, validation is there. So if I press F7 again, so you can see that the cursor is now pointing to the second field on the first RN. Okay, now if I just put the value inactive and press F7, now it will point to the first field on the second RN. Okay, now if I do something, write something here and press F7, it will point to the fourth point. Now if I write something like other than active or inactive and press F7, it will again give me the error on that line, that field. Now I'm marking it as active. Okay, and pressing F7 will say that multiple records updated because I have changed the values of both the fields in a sequence. Multiple records updated, and now there is no reverse image, and the cursor is automatically by default point to the first field. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the demo of this one. So you have already seen the demo, but how we can achieve this, I'll be letting you know. So just for curiosity, so I have created one physical file, which is a student whose name is a student, and this is the record format, and these are the fields, and where I can see that employee number is a key field. Okay, employee number, employee name, employee status. Right. So just this is the file, and now I'll be showing you the display file, or you can say the sub file as well as display file. So here you can see the display size is 24 by 80, the standard size. Now this is the sub file record format. So the sub file record format is SFL RFMT. So here I used SFL keyword with that, so it is showing, or it is denoting that this is a sub file record format. Now you can see that as I used SFL exchange keyword with this sub file record format. Okay, and I used one indicator 50, means when 50 is on, then this keyword will be in an active state. Okay, SFL exchange will get on. So what does that mean? What is SFL exchange? Okay, so I'll be letting you know during my demo that what is SFL exchange, because this is a very important thing. So if you don't know about this, you can't do the validation things, because in that scenario you have to first do the validation, then you have to read the file again, so that you could be sub file again, you could update the files based on the change records. Okay, Now you can see that I have three fields: employee number, employee name, employee status. Okay, so first one is the output field, and the second and third one are both fields, means input and output both. So we will be going to edit these two fields only, employee name and status. It will not be editable. Now you can see that I have used display attribute RI reverse image. So once the error once there is an error in these fields, so this indicator gets on, means 51 gets on or 52 gets on. So these fields get reverse image highlighted, or the position cursor also. I have used position cursor for this. So once this 51 gets on, it will point to that field, or 52 gets on, it will point to that this field. Okay, in a manner, in a sequential manner. Now this is the subfile record format where I defined three fields, and I used SFL next change keyword. I'll be letting you know later in this demo that what does this mean by the real time example. So now here I use subfile control record format. So SFL CTL is the subfile control keyword, which denotes that this is a subfile control record format, and here I specified the subfile format. So it is basically pointing to this subfile format. Okay, now I used since F3, F6 and F7, F6 to add, F7 to update, F3 to exit on that subfile screen. So I used this one, these three indicators. So first is command attention, and the other two are command function. So in command attention is just used whenever we don't need to pass the data from one screen to the other, and command functions are used whenever we need to pass the data. So here in this case I don't think that I have to pass the data, so I can also make them CA instead of CF, or I can make all CF also. It depends upon me. Now you can see that this is a load all subfile. Now subfile size is 9999, subfile page size is 9. So on one page only 9 records gets loaded, and other will be loaded on the next pages till 999, because this is a load all subfile. Now you can see that I used overlay keyword. So overlay keyword is just basically a keyword. So for example, we have a display screen, and we have already formatted some record formats. So they are just displaying some text or some things on the display screen. So we are just overlaying this record format onto the existing execute formatted record formats. Means that we have shown something on the display screen, and we are not going to erase those things, and we are now overlaying this thing on those existing data on the display thing. So those data will be those record formats data will get displayed on the screen, as well as this also, right? Now this is the SFL clear, so I use indicator 20 with this. So once 20 gets on, we will be clearing the subfile. 21 SFL inged. SFL inged I use because, for example, I'll be taking that case. Okay, I'll be letting you know during my program demo. So I'll be letting you know SFL next change, SFL inged things during the demo. This is the SFL display. So once we have record in the subfile, so we will be setting this on so that the subfile would get displayed, and this is the control for the subfile display. Now you can see that this is subfile record number, where I define the SFL RRN, which is a hidden field. So it will hold the RRN. So in case we are on third or fourth page, or any page on a subfile at a particular time, so we will be holding the RRN, so that we could once we press enter or anything we do, we are on the same page. Okay, now this is the heading information which will be displayed on the screen. So we are just overlaying these this heading information with that subfile format things: employee number, employee name, employee status, and this is the heading subfile screen. So this is color or display attribute, which is underlined, or color is white for them. Now you can see I have taken the footer record format. So footer will be showing the F3, F6 or F7, and there are messages also which were shown when the records get updated. So for 81, record added successfully. So once the records gets added, so indicator 81 gets on, record updated, 91 gets on, and multiple records updated, 92 gets on. So in case 92 is on, we will be uh, seeing this message, or in case 91 is on, we will be seeing this message. No records updated, so in that case 94 gets on. Okay, so based on the indicators, the message will be displayed. Okay, now this is the add screen where I have only F12 key on the bottom. So here also I used overlay, so we are actually overlaying that thing on the screen. So enter employee number, enter employee name, enter employee status, add records in subfile. This is the add screen. So here you can see that three fields were there: employee name, and employee status. So I just used error message keyword with them. So in case indicator 71 gets on, means any validation field for this field, then we will be setting this 71 to on. So once the 71 gets on, it will display this message on the display file screen. Okay, so based on the indicators, it will show the respective message. So this is the display file. Now what I'm doing, I'm just compiling this PDF, and then I'm compiling this display file. So I'm setting the restore display as yes, so that I would be able to see that during the debug mode. Now this is the program. So here I can see that I have declared a student file in update mode, update add mode, because we are adding the records also, or we are updating the records also. So we are updating the records in file screen, and we are adding the records through the add screen. Okay, so this file has key, right? Now we have declared that pgm8dspf, which is a display file, and this is defined in the combined mode, and for this we use workstation. So here we define subfile format is sfl rfmt, and the we associated the rn keyword with this, and we also defined the file information in data structure, so that we would be getting the rn information, right? So on this position 378 till 379, we will be getting the current rn. So on whatever is page we are on subfile screen, so we'll be getting that information, our information, to this one using this file information data structure. So here I took update count record okay as two local variables which I'll be using in my program. So first thing is the injsr. Okay, so just I'm going to debug this program. Okay, then I'll be showing you the things. Since this is a big program, so this program has been compiled. Just do the debug pgm8 . Just wait. Set the breakpoint at line number 1. I'll be looking into the data, the student file. So currently there are no records. So let's call this program, call pgm8. Just do F10. So the first thing is the injsr subroutine. If there are any in the program, so they will be executed at the first point. So we can see that rn is 0 current at the current position, current time, or now sfl rn is also 0. we are setting an indicated 81 is on, no message on the footer. Now we are just doing the load part for the sub file. Stop loading. So this is indicator 99 is off currently. Since this indicator gets on when the sub file size reaches the maximum value, it is 9999. Indicator 10 is for sub file display. So currently there are no records loaded into the sub file, so this is set to off. So we'll be setting SFL RIN as well, so that we could be able to display that empty sub file also. So I'm doing the set LL from the star with the star lowell on the student file. So now, so this is the record format of the student RS student. Now I'm reading that file. Do while not percentile end of file and not percentile error, and indicator 99 is not equal to on, means the sub file size doesn't reaches 999. Okay, now we didn't get any record till now, so we just come out of that loop. So SFL RIN is currently 1, so we already set it 1 so that we would be able to display that empty sub file. So if RIN is 0, so here in this case you can see that in case of RIN I am setting indicator 21 as off on. Okay, what does that mean? Since we don't have any record in the sub file screen, so just see, footer will get written, control format gets written, and we would be seeing the sub file screen which is empty right now. Now here we have one option, that is F7 update. So indicator 21 was basically used for SFL INZ sub file initialize. So in case we don't have any record in our sub file screen, right, and we are going to update that sub file, means we are first reading the sub file that whether there are any change record or not. So how we will be doing that? So using read C operation. So using read C operation, we will be reading the change records only on the sub file screen. Okay, so we don't have any records, so in case we are going to read that sub file, we will be getting the session device error if we are not using the SFL INZ keyword. So what SFL INZ keyword will do? So SFL INZ keyword here basically works as, like, for example, we have the sub file size is 999, so till whatever the size we will be given on the SFL size keyword, it will automatically load those number of sub file records as blank value. Okay, so that you won't be getting that session or device error while reading the records. Now for example, I'm doing F7 here. Okay, so we have already set the indicator 21 as on, means SFL INZ keyword is active right now. Record okay. I didn't press F3, I didn't press enter, so it is checking, it is handling for the enter. If I am not pressing F3, F6 or F7, means I pressed enter. If F6 is on, so I didn't press F6. If F7 is on, so I'm just setting the 7 as off, the indicator 81, 91, 92, 94 as off, which are basically for those messages which will be displayed on the screen, sub file screen. 71 as off, 72 and 73 as off. Record is okay currently. So just I'm doing read C. So in case I didn't use SFL INZ keyword here and didn't set it that in active state, I'll be getting the session or device error at this point, read C point. Okay, so now I'm not getting that. So I tried to read the records in sub file screen, so I didn't get the any change record using read C operation. I'm doing read C on the sub file format. Okay, and I'm reading till do while not consider end of file of the sub file format. Okay, so if record is okay, yes, update count is 0. I'm again going to read that record. I didn't get anything. Update count is 0. 94 indicator gets on. So if record is okay, indicator 20 is on, so file is clear. I'm going to load this again. So I didn't get any record. Indicator 20 gets on. So I can see that no record updated. Okay. So this is the functioning of SFL INZ keyword. Now, so I explained about read C or SFL INZ as a file initialize, but I didn't give the demo for the read C. So I'll be adding the record. Just press F6. So once I press F6, I'll be here. So I'm clearing the values of the fields. I'm setting the indicators to off. Now I'm executing the format of the add screen. I have that screen, so I'm not showing you those error messages right now. I'm adding the records, name 1, and this is active. Now pressing enter. Okay, so it will check whether it is blank or not, it is active or not. Yes, all the validations are passed right now. These 71, 72, 73 are set as off, means these were the error messages which will be shown based on these fields validation. Now we are passing the sub file fields to the file field, and we are writing to the file. So we just return to the file. So if we see, so we have one record now in the file. Now we are clearing the sub file again. Now we are loading the sub file. So once we load the sub file, we will be just reading the student record. Now we have RN as 1. Okay, now we are populating the file fields to the sub file fields. Okay, writing the sub file format. So once I write the sub file format, I'll be setting the indicator 10 as on, means we can now display the sub file. We don't have any other records. So now we have RN as 1, which is not 0. So we don't have a empty sub file. So it will set the indicator 21 as off now, means SFL INZ keyword is not activated right now because we don't have empty sub file. So just display this file. So record added successfully. We can see this message also, and now this record is added. We can see that this is non-editable, this is editable, and this is editable. So what I'll be doing, I'll be adding it one record again. Name 2 and enter. Pressing enter, writing the record to the student file. Now loading. RN will become 2 this time, okay, because we have 2 records in the file. Okay, now you can see that we are executing the sub file format. Okay, now record added successfully. We have 2 records. What I'll do, I'll try to change one record. Okay, I'm changing this one. So for example, I'm just changing this to this value, and now pressing F7, just to F10. Process keyboard keys. Record is okay. Record OK is set to blank right now. Now once I enter into the F7 functionality, so here if F7 is on, means it is on. we are setting these indicators as off. Now record OK is set to Y. So currently we are assuming that the record is OK, so we don't have any error records. Now it will check if employee name is blank. No, so it will be setting indicator 51 as off. Indicator 51. So 51 is this one. So we are setting this image or position cursor as off, so it won't position to this one. Now if we'll see employee status is not active or not equal to blank, so it will set 52 as on and record OK is no. So the record is not OK, so it will update the subfile format. Okay, it will update the subfile format and then it will read the change record again. So there is no further change records. If record is okay, no, record is not okay, so it will just skip those things and it will you can say it will display that field in the reverse image and the cursor is positioned to this field now. Okay, so this was the thing. So how we achieve that? So we just simply use that display attribute position cursor thing. So using that thing, we are just setting the cursor on the error fields, and once that we will be correcting that error field, and then we are pressing F7 again. So the record format subfile formats gets updated, and then it will point to the next error field. Okay, if any. Now we can see that we have seen readc demo, SFL injet demo thing. Now SFL next change thing comes into the picture here. So for example, now I'm just I'm doing active ABCD. Okay, now this value is correct, so I'm updating two records. I'm pressing F7. So you can see that first thing I'm doing is I'm reading the change records. So I am reading the first change record. Now I'm setting indicator 51 and 52 as off, and you can see that 50 is set to on. 50 is the indicator which is associated with SFL next change keyword. Now what does this keyword do? Okay, so this keyword basically function as like follows. You can see for example, you have changed some records on the subfile screen, so you are reading that subfile. Okay, so once you are reading that subfile, so there is a flag which is associated with the subfile records, change records you can say, so which are gets on once a particular subfile record gets changed. So once we are reading for the first time using read C operation of the subfile screen, so in that case that record will that flag will set to off by default. Okay, so once after first read C operation, those change records indicator or you can say flag gets set to off. Now for example, I'm validating for the first time, so once I validated those things, then I have to read those records again and have to update them to the file. Okay, now update them to the file as well as to the record format, subfile format also. Now how can I do that? So at the next moment I'm not getting, so when I'm doing the read C operation, I'm not getting any change records, since at the first point when I did read C for the first time after changing the records, then that indicator or that flag was set to on and I'm able to read the change records and I validated those records. But now after validation is successful, I'm having to update that records. Now when I'm doing read C again, I'm not getting any change records. So how can I do that? So I can do that using SFL next change keyword. So SFL next change keyword will basically set that flag to on, okay, with the change record fields. So once a particular record which was changed, and we have used the read C operation for the first time. Now for the first time when we are using the read C operation and we are reading the change record, so at the first moment we read the first change record, and now we are setting the SFL next change indicator to on with that record, and then we are reading the for example the third record. We got the third record as the change record. Now with the third record, that indicator gets set to on. Now for example on fourth record there is no change, and the fifth record is changed. Now first, third and fifth record, the SFL next change indicator set to on, flag set to on. So now I'm able to get those three records after that. Okay, it means that those three records are changed. So at the first read C operation, I set the SFL next change indicator to on with those particular first, third and fifth records, and that SFL next change indicator is off with second, fourth record. Okay, now when I'm doing the read C again, I'll be getting those change records because I have set the SFL next change indicator to on. So the SFL next change basically plays a role when we want to validate some user input on the table sub file, and then we have to update those change records to the file. Means we have to perform the read C operation twice, more than once on a sub file scheme. So at the first read C operation, the flag will set to off. So at the second time when we are reading the change records, we are not going to uh, get those change records. So for that purpose we are using the SFL next change keyword. Okay, now we are setting the SFL next change keyword to on, indicator to on. So again for the second record also I'm setting the indicator to on, and I'm also updating the record format of the sub file. Okay, sub file record format during read C. So I have to update that also. If I'm not updating that, I'm not getting those change records again. Okay, now you can see if record is okay. Yes, record is okay. Now update count is 0. I'm doing the read C again. So here SFL exchange plays the role. So if I didn't set the SFL exchange indicator to on with those records, I won't be able to read the change records. Okay, so now I'm getting the change records. Now I'm changing on the file student with employee number 1. I'm finding the record. Update count is equals to 1. Employee name is set to name 1. Employee status is active. And the record is updated to the student file. Now with employee number 2, I'm getting the update count as set to 2. Employee name as ABCD. Okay, the record is updated to the student file. If I'll be seeing, so we can see that this is active and this is ABCD. Okay, the records gets updated successfully. Undo. If update count is 0, so I'm setting indicator 94 as on, so the message will be sent to the subfile screen. So with respect to the 94 indicator, if update count is equal to 1, 91 is set on. If update count is greater than 1, 92 is on. Okay, so 92 is on right now. Record okay. Now I'm clearing the subfile and I'm loading it again from the file. So this is the best way. So you first clear the sub file and then you will load always. Okay, now I'm loading sub file records. So this is the load subroutine which is executing right now. Now I'm executing the format footer, and we can see that multiple records updated successfully into this one. So for example, sorry, I would be setting all as blank. Now I'm pressing F7, F10, So you can see that record is okay right now. So I'm reading the change records, so all the records are changed. So employee name is blank, so it will set the indicator 51 as on, means it will set the position cursor on that, or the reverse image on that also. 51 is on, 52 is also on, and 50 is also set to on, means SFL next change record is set to on with that record. Now the second record is also set to, for second record 51 is set to on, 52 is set to on, so all the records are in error right now, and 50 is also set to on. I'm updating this file format here and then doing the read C again. Now you can see that all the fields are reverse highlighted and the cursor is pointed to the first one. I'm just saying G, I'm just pressing enter. It won't do anything because enter won't do anything. See, the records are as it is. I have to press F7. Okay, now I'm in the F7 block, code block. I'm reading the change records. So at this time I'm not getting the blank value here, so indicator 51 is set to off now for the first row, first field, but for second row it is set to on. 52 is set to on. Now I'm updating the format again now. So for the second row all the fields are in error. Now the position will be the cursor will be positioned to the second field on the first row, as you can see. Yes, right, correct. Now if I'll make it active, and press F7, so you can see it will go to the F7 section, this one. It will read the change records. Now it will set the 52 as on for the first record, you can see. Now I'm updating this file format. Now reading the second record. For second record, the first and second both the fields will be set to reverse image and the position will be point to the second row first record. Okay, now I'm execute formatting the screen. Okay, now for example D, and pressing F7. Now you'll see again that F7 block reading the change record. So all the records are changed and the indicator will be set to off for everyone because there is no error. For the last row, for this one employee status, this is still in error. So now it will, second row and second field will be in error and the position cursor will be positioned to that record only, as you can see this one. So we have achieved what we want. Okay, now if I do inactive here, it will, and press F7, it will just update the records. So at the first read C, you can see that at the first time read C, it will setting the 51 and 52 as off because there is no error, and updating the subfile format also, setting the 50 as on, which is for SFL next change. You can see now record is okay, means there is no error. Now I'm reading the subfile records again. So I have already set the SFL next indicator to on with those fields, those records. Now I'm reading those things and I'm now updating to the file. Okay, now I'm getting the message as well. So you can see multiple records updated. So I'm just doing F3 from here and debug. So this is the thing which we achieved. Now if I look into the code again in a sequential way, or in a from starting to end. So this is the code. Student INFTS So this is the file information data structure, and these are the fields. Here I'm writing the footer sub file control format. Then once that sub file is in front of us, we are now checking which keyboard key user has pressed, either F3, F6 or F7. Okay, so this is the initialization subroutine which is executed the first time. So at the first time we are just loading the sub file using execute subroutine load subroutine. So we execute subroutine this load one. So this is the load subroutine where we are loading the sub file from by reading the student file. So we are reading the student file, we are incrementing the RN, we are setting the sub file fields from the file. Okay, writing the file format, and these are the things which are doing. So this is the 21 indicator is set to on here, which is for SFL INZ. Means if it is a file is empty, we will be setting SFL INZ, or we are activating the SFL INZ keyword, which is basically help us not to get that session or device error during update time. So in case we are trying to update the sub file having empty record or no records, so in that case we are not getting any error. So this is the process keyboard key where I am checking F3 is on, we are returning the program. If I am entering, pressing enter, then we will be on the same page. Handling for the same page, we are passing the current RN, fetching from the file information data structure to the SFL RN keyword, which is associated with the subfile record number keyword in the subfile display screen. Okay, if F6 was pressed, so this is the logic for the F6. So inside that there is F12. User can press F12 to get back to the main file screen. So till the time F12 is off, it will be execute formatting that add screen, and these are the indicators for the error messages. So F12 is off, we are just checking whether employee name is blank or employee number is blank, name is blank, employee status is not equal to active or not equal to inactive. Then we are setting these indicators to on, so that we would be seeing those error messages on that add screen itself. So in case there is no such validation, all the validation get passed, it will get to the other section and will set all the indicators to off, and then it will just write the records to the, or add the records to the file, and then it will clear the record format, and then it will load the sub file again from the file, which is file field, which is gets having the added record. Okay, now we are displaying, we are setting the indicator 12 as on, so that we would be get to the first screen, and we are having that message, display message on footer, means recorded successfully, this one. Now we are clearing. So in else part also we are clearing the sub file and we are loading that thing. So this else part is basically for this one, this one. If indicator 12 is off, then do this. If F12 is on, we are just clearing the sub file and we are just loading the sub file screen in case if user press F12 directly without adding the record. Okay, so this is the section which will get executed in that case. Now if F7 is pressed, so it will set these indicators to off, then validate all the change records at the first step. So it will just do the read C at the first time. At the first time it will do the read C, and it will read the records of the sub file till not much the end of file, and it will check those values, employee name and employee status. If the records which user change is okay, then it won't set those indicator 51 or 52 to on, it will set those two off, and it will update the indicator 50 to on, which is associated with the SFL exchange keyword, and it will just update the subfile record format so that we have the information saved for the change record, because after first read the flags associated with the change record will set to off. So we are using SFL exchange keyword for that purpose, so that we won't lose the change records data after first read C operation, so that we would be able to validate those data, and we would be able to read it again, change records again, and update our file. Okay, so once we are reading at the first time for validation purpose only, so if the records are okay, then only in that case we are doing the read C again, because we have already set the SFL exchange indicator to on with those records which are changed. So we would be able to read the change records again, and then we are updating the records into the file. Okay, if and based on the number of records updated, if it is 0 count, then we are setting this indicator to on, means message will be sent based on this indicator, and if it is 1, it 91 is set to on, if it is greater than 92 is set to on. So the message, corresponding message, will be sent to the screen based on these indicators. Now if record is okay, it will clear the subfile again, and then it will load the subfile again, and then it will come back to this section. Okay, this section, main section, this is the main programming section where it will write the footer or the file control format again. So this is the flow of the program. I'll be so here what we saw, that we have seen the editable subfile where we saw the validations as well. So based on the user input, we are validating the subfile. Okay, so we are basically reading the subfile using readC keyword, and we are doing the validation of the subfile using the first readC keyword, and we are updating the subfile to the subfile records to the file which is defined in the update add mode in our program. So we are reading the file subfile records again using SFL exchange keyword. So at the first readC operation, we are setting the SFL exchange keyword to on with those records which are changed, so that we would be able to read them again, and if they are okay, if all the records are okay or the validation is passed, then we are reading the change records again, and we are just updating the file. Okay, SFL injet keyword, we just use the SFL injet keyword so that we would be able to we would be able to resolve that error, session or device error. In case means, for example, if we are displaying the empty subfile and we are just trying to update that subfile, so we have an empty subfile and we are trying to update that subfile. Okay, we don't have any record, so if we are doing readC on that one empty subfile, we are getting this session or device error. So for removing that thing, we are using the SFL injet keyword. Here we are sending the error messages on the display file screen using error message keyword, and we saw that we have used the add functionality also, add screen also here, and we have seen that we have used display attribute, display ATR, and position cursor keyword. So there in loop we are setting the reverse image or the position cursor to the corresponding next phase. We are updating the multiple records at once, or single record at once, or no record at once, and we are highlighting all the records which are in error, either 1, 2, 3 or any number of records in the reverse image format, and we are pointing to the first error field. The cursor will be pointing to the first error field, and once that error field gets resolved, or the field value gets corrected as per the validations, then the subfile gets updated and it will point to the next error field. Cursor will point to the next error field. So this functionality we have created in this demo, and we have learned much more in this thing. So I think this is a full-fledged video for a subfile, and that's all. Thank you and have a nice time.